It's not like they're getting anything up to ambitious. But speaking of being mischievous, we are now into a TvT. And we're starting off with this fella in the bottom left, the Red Terran. After coming off a series, finishing off on this map, he is representing Team GP and the nation of South Korea. Give it up for Ryung.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing KZ Gaming, KZG. It is time.
Okay, well, me and Yaku have talked about how the Chinese Team Leagues has given us the gifts of the three-letter acronyms for the teams, and just our intros just being effectively more better for it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I had the from you, so I'm like, oh, what? But yeah, we are starting to actually see a difference here from the openings. No wall-off at the ramp from Ryung, whereas Time has gone for the more traditional, more standard wall-off at that ramp. So maybe we might see something cheeky here from our South Korean Terran.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. We do see that he also prioritized his second gas, as you know, Time as well is still only mining from one gas. So Ryung prioritizing going into that factory. Meanwhile, Time going for a more economic opener, going for the CC.
Yeah, he's going for the Reaper Expand. Well, looks fact first here from Ryung. So it's looking like Ryung wants to be that early aggressor here. Maybe with that SCV, maybe we might see a proxy star, but no, he's just bringing it to tank some shots from the Reaper here. Is a Marine as well, but the Reaper is there as well. The Marine taking damage to charge, bouncing forward, but the Reaper of Ryung is going to go down as well as the SCV. Nice micro there from Time to stop the scout from happening, but it looks like he should have enough information from that to know that Time is pretty much playing this standard.
Yeah, Ryung, he was trying to be cheeky, he was trying to, style on his opponents, but in the end, he got styled on. Time, he had the defense, he had the Marine in position, and he dealt with it beautifully.
He had the time.
Time.
Yeah. I think this is the first ever Time game I casted. Oh boy, I can't wait to make all the puns.
God. As we've been a little bit unlucky, like even the times we've been able to cast DreamHack China, like we typically miss Time. It does go over to the mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, especially after his 2019 run, he is the Chinese player. I mean, the same with Haas after Valencia in 2018. After he went on that tear. Then went up against Sarah and just absolutely got decimated. But yeah, for now, does seem like just a reasonably standard opening here from Time, getting the Raven, as it is going to be Medevac Marine Cyclone. So, okay, so he's going to be going for this early pressure build where you put the tank onto the high ground, hopefully drop the Marines onto the... drop the tank onto the low ground, Marines onto the high ground, and it should be enough damage to, be able to do it. And it just cuts off that huge section of area, but even then, it looks like Ryung hasn't exactly got that high ground vision. He is now dropping off the Marines.
Yeah, he does have to be careful though, because there is a Raven out and there's so much potential with that Raven. A Cyclone even pops out as well, so we'll see how much damage Ryung can get done before he gets cleaned up.
Okay, we're going to see, the automated turret is there. Tank gonna get picked up. Nice micro there by Ryung. Cyclone does join them. And if you could pick off the Raven, this would actually be very, very big here for Ryung. Instead, he's just gonna go for the setup again.
Yeah, meanwhile, it looks like
as well.
Yeah, Surround is getting set up.
And actually, oh, the Raven just getting into the orange there. About, oh, I want to say 20 health, maybe. It's 40, actually. But now Cyclone's locking on. Nice micro there by Ryung. No lock-ons are there. True Ravens here for our blue Terran. Actually does manage to get one, thanks to the Cyclone. And now Ryung is backing off. Time looking to get onto this early lead, economically, that he's had now for a while. Maybe getting that third CC down.
Yeah, I mean, Ryung, it was really, I mean, he was trying to do what he could there, and honestly, it was really impressive, the micro that he had to keep his tanks alive, to trade as best he could against those Ravens, even forcing a couple of auto turrets to be wasted, but in the end, he was pushed away. Time, he still has that economic lead, as you were saying, but Ryung, he slightly has a faster third CC. With that, he'll be able to attempt to catch up and close that gap.
Oh, attempted drop by Ryung does get shoot away by Time there. So here's just a game of cat and mouse at the moment. Just who can poke in, who can get the cheese, and who can be the cat and just looking to kill the mouse. But it looks like Ryung maybe want to go for another move out here.
So I'll say, but Ryung is a fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know.
he's
pretty sure Mari has something to do with something.
Ryung, he's the tuna Terran, man, you know?
Yeah.
God damn it.
How could I forget? I am dumb.
Oh boy, but we'll see how he does here. I mean, both players are expanding, they're getting their third bases up and running. So far, they have kind of backed off from each other, allowing each other to kind of get into the swing of things and get their macro going.
Yeah, Viking production on the way as well. So Bio getting researched as well. Stim, the +1 timings as well. So we're just going into that Tank Marine Medic. Sorry, Tank Marine medevac play happening at this moment. I've been playing too much Brood War. I literally was laddering it all daylight.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some similarities here. Something that's interesting is that Ryung has kind of foregone any kind of Raven production. Like he just doesn't have any period, which is interesting because like there's so much utility that comes with that Raven.
Yeah, no, the interference matrix eye, as well as the auto turrets can really be pretty much a fight changer in a TvT. You can get onto the right components, but it looks like Ryung going for those scouting medevacs. Nice scan there by Time. Does see no move outs from Ryung.
I like how they're both in position, like, to intercept the drop as well. Like, I like how...
Or Raven harass.
Yeah.
Until somebody decided to do the revolutionary idea and go the other way.
Right? Like, this place is so open. To be fair, like, Ryung is ready for it, like, with a scouting depot, but Time, a little bit risky.
I mean, Time has gone for that earlier 4th base, turning into the planetary now. And he's obviously stream tuning because he heard us and was like, oh, my mineral lions are naked, I'm going to throw up a missile turret. But of course it's not possible. But yeah, it does look like a very even game at the moment. Just Ryung falling behind in terms of the work account plus army because of that 4th base that but high ground advantage here for Ryung. Maybe does siege up the tanks. No siege up actually from Time, and the interference matrix means no actual siege up. The anti-armor missiles trying to do something, but too many Marines here for Time, and he does manage to push back the main army.
Exactly, not just the Marines, but the tanks as well. There were just so many more in favor of Time. Sure, there were a couple of disables, but it was not enough for Ryung, and Time comes out ahead there. He still has such a massive tank lead.
Yeah, I mean, he has 4 tanks to 2 at this moment. He is checking that that scouting, that potential fourth location, will have the high ground advantage, and as well can actually snipe some buildings from that location into the main to scan. Gonna get a hit off onto the Marines, but a stem forward by these Marines. Into there's actually no Vikings here, so the Medevacts are in trouble. But look at that damage by Time Light. GG is called, and Time is going to take game number 1.
GG Time. You know, I mean, we all know him. Everyone knows him. He has kind of made a splash in the foreign scene. He has so much hype around him, and we see why. Really so solid there in that game, you know, not just like in his defense, but like even in some of the smaller things, like his micro, like the initial Reaper fight that they had. Like it was so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely, you know, just being able to you know, just push through, especially with the Marines. He must have just got a just the perfect stem forward, and Tad was just able to just clear out all those tanks and just set up onto the high ground from that fourth location, and just being able to just slap down the pain onto Ryung there.
Oh boy, exactly. And we'll see how things switch up here, especially because like Ryung, he isn't opposed to putting things on the line and just proxying. Like it's well within his capabilities to do so.
Yeah, we're not going to blame him as well, but we do have some updates from around the brackets. So we did have Zest actually winning 2-0 over Ryuchi. Now it's going up against Max Said in our quarterfinals. Because we're on Time versus Ryung, and the winner of this will face off against Amani.
Oh.
Like, say it with me. Because we're the CranKy Ducklings, we must cast Amani.
We have to cast Armani.
It's Amani, yes. Was he in last week? I'm pretty sure he wasn't in last week.
Yeah, like we have been deprived from Armani for a couple of weeks. Same with Patience. It's a bit of a shame. It's great that we see Armani here, and we should be casting him next. You know, we should be following the winner of this series. And speaking of which, again, like I don't see Patience on this bracket. You know, where's he at? We miss him.
It's probably, you know, maybe he had an appointment to go for being a patient. Anyway, spawning in the top left here, the Red Terran on Death Aura. Can he time the series 1-1? He is from South Korea, representing Team GP. He is 1-5 Young Ryung.
I'm shaking my head. Oh god, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Blue Terran, currently up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is time.
Alrighty, well. Scouting SEV going across, and I don't know whether this is Ryung's style of a TvT, but he does not like to wall off that ramp there. He's just he does like to build it in base a bit further, but it's just going to be a Reaper expand from both players. It seems to be, as actually no scouting SEV from Ryung.
Yeah, I guess it's
just time.
I guess it's just a stylistic thing for Ryung, because we saw like these building positions earlier in the previous game, and of course he did go for a faster gas and things of that nature. But here this game, like we see both players are expanding, like a little more economic focused.
Yeah, well, this time for Ryung, it seems to be like he doesn't want to go for that early aggression. It seems like, but the Reapers are out. He's looking like Ryung's just checking for proxies, whereas Time, he's looking just to go the long way. Seems like maybe cut off, stop the SEV that's making the CC, the natural CC, but the Reaper did stay at home as well as an SEV, so that's not taking up those hits as well as Ryung was hoping for. But it looks like the SEV will be left alone here.
Yeah, pretty interesting decision there by Ryung to keep his Reaper at home, knowing that his opponent was going to be a little bit more aggressive. Hopefully it pays off, and hopefully he's able to keep his SEV alive.
Yeah, well, the Reaper just slightly out of position. Some damage does go onto that SCV, but the CC does finish, going to be made into on an orbital, whereas now only just time. Can we get a look into Time's man? He's only just finished a factory now, whereas Ryung is firmly ahead in terms of, oh, okay, he's going for a Widowmine here.
Ooh, interesting. Like yeah. So, I mean, it seems like it is a little bit more defensive, like he's going to have his Reaper at first, just in case Ryung does go across the map. And speaking of, like, we do see, oh my god, concussive shell on the way for Ryung.
Well, it's not a 3-rack, so this is a TvP, not a 3-rack's quick concussive shell, but maybe if he gets the armory and decides to go for a Hellbat timing with the concussive shells as well, that'd actually be pretty decent. But with Time Warrior with that bunker setup as well as the Widowmine, it is going to be very hard push into that opens the choke point into the natural, but decides maybe to go for a multi-pronged here. He is hiding the Marauders in that medevac.
Yeah, we'll see how much damage he can get done with this. I mean, to be fair, Time is moving out with his medevac. They run into each other.
It's like, hey, what's up? Hey, well, he doesn't know what's there, but of course he can just dive these Hellions in, but instead he's just gonna drop the Marauder straight onto this Cyclone. Now it's just elevating his way in. SCV's getting targeted down. One of the Marauders already dead. Two Hellions still left down onto the low ground. Both Marauders are dead. The elevator coming in, and actually this is doing some good economic damage, but in the meantime, Time, he's dropping into the main surround here. Cyclone is there. Reaper Grenade gonna toss it back. The Widowmine! Oh my god, that evens it up!
Oh my god.
At least the trades.
Exactly, but you know what? The Hellions aren't done. That's it.
Okay, micro. There we go, Ryung. 13 to 21 SCVs already down. Time, he's down by 10 workers. And now, can this medevac get out? No, can't. Nice micro there from Time. As his third CC is finished. Both players making their Ravens now. But Ryung in such a good economic position at this moment with that worker lead. But looks like Time wants to go for maybe a timing push here. He is going to be waiting for that second tank to pop out.
Yeah, as we do see, it is being loaded up, so he's straight away going across the map. And honestly, Ryung, he did so much damage. It was so smart the way he was able, it was amazing the way he was able to micro his Marauders. He focused on the Cyclone. As soon as the Cyclone went down, the Hellions just reigned supreme in the main base of Time. But now Time has the opportunity to counterattack and also catch up, right? He has 3 CCs, he has 3 triple SCV production.
Yeah, alright, well, the tank already in position here. Does see that the tanks are here. Interference Matrix should be here, but the 2 tanks are going to take care of that high ground tank. But what's the plan here for Time? He's going to just leapfrog his tanks forward, but the Marines are already starting to take a bit of damage. Auto turret there to push back the Raven. Does he get his own? But the Interference Matrix is getting taken off. 1 tank is taking down Time. He only has 6 Marines, a Raven, and a medevac. And the Vikings are here to push this away. No economic damage from Time, but does manage to get the armies to about even.
Yeah, he was able to trade so efficiently, able to snipe off one of the tanks, the Raven as well, which was probably the most important pickup there for Time. And Time, he backs off, and as this has all been happening, he's been slowly catching up, right? He's only down by 5 workers now, and like as soon as he establishes himself, he'll be able to expand, take his 3rd base. Meanwhile, Ryung, he's only still working on his 3rd CC.
Yeah, but this, other than, replenishing that work account that he lost, Time hasn't exactly been mining from that base. So it looks like the actual, minerals actually mined at the moment is in favor of Time at the moment. As he has got everything saturated. I'm not sure why Time has that extra. He has the mules, that's why.
Yeah.
But now it is even, I should say.
Yeah, and we do see Time looking to expand. I was surprised as well. Time already working on his 1-1. Ryung was a little bit behind in that respect. And after everything's said and done, it does feel like things more or less have equalized.
Yeah, both players having their fair base, having the tech that they needed. Yeah, so we are seeing, the same compositions in the TvT. The Bi-Marine, Medevac, Viking, Raven. So for now, it is just... Oh, actually, Time is going to be pushing across here. Maybe he wants to go and take that third. There is... I'm pretty sure there should be a Raven. Actually, don't think there is any Ravens here for Ryung, but he has got, I think, the superior Viking count. He does. He has. Well,
it's important to note that earlier Time did snipe that Raven, if you recall, and Ryung hasn't replaced it. He has been focusing on his Viking production instead, and there aren't that many Marines to protect these tanks either. They are pretty badly bruised, so there is an opportunity here for Time.
Yeah, Medevac's on the way. The tank siege up, trying to give a good position. Oh, does manage to pick up a couple of Marines just with a bit of pathing issues there, but yeah, I feel like Time, he can't really push into this unless he found a sigh of relief for now, as a drop seems to be coming in, or maybe just a reinforcing with the Medevacs.
Yeah. Time, he's sharking around. He's trying to find an angle, an opportunity to get on that high ground, to go up one of these ramps.
Oh, almost got that that Raven there. As now, the Raven goes down, and actually getting a Medevac as well. There's only 2 Medevacs with this army, so if Ryung can just slowly whittle down this main army here, but there's a drop coming in into the natural with looking like possibly Marines and a tank here, as it looks like Ryung just going to go for the Dream Drop onto the tanks, but does he turn around once he sees this drop? No, he doesn't. 6 SCVs of Ryung's going down. Just dropped a couple of Marines there, as now here comes the response. 9 SCVs going down as well as not focused down any of the researching buildings. Vikings landing to help clean this up, as a drop into the main by Time here, trying to get onto the top of the production. Tank sieging up by Ryung, and now in comes the Vikings to chase away the Medevacs. You can't blame. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, sieging the tanks in the wrong position here.
Yeah, even more.
I'm going to be losing volleys. 2 of them.
Yeah, it does lose 2. His CC is so dangerously low to going down as well.
Yeah, okay, there comes the repairs coming in from Ryung. Looking like the tanks aren't going to be enough, but there's another drop going into the main lane, this time with a tank. 2 tanks. And that's going to be enough time. Seizing the time to go into our quarterfinal.
Yeah, GG, well played. Time does take the entire series 2-0 over Ryung. And as we were mentioning earlier, he does advance on to face Armani.